Oh, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Mini Music Monday, a subsidiary of the Raw Impressions podcast. Take it away, Lou and Adele.
You love subsidiary.
I do. I love it whenever you just toss that in there. It makes me giggle.
Yeah. Subsidiary.
It's like a word I would never use.
I'm finding that I'm incorporating it more and more into my day-to-day conversation.
How can I slide subsidiary into this?
Yep.
Hi. Look at us. What is this?
What?
I'm just saying, it's crazy.
What?
Do we tell people what's happening? That this is like the time and what's going on? And it's just goofy. We don't do this very often.
Explain it.
Explain
what's happening.
So it's Friday evening. Going back in time, guys. I know you're listening to this on Monday, Mini Music Monday. But guess when we recorded it? Friday in the evening, early evening. Haven't had dinner yet. But this is just
It's just the two of us.
Just the two of us. It's so odd.
Making dinner when we can try.
In 3, affirmative.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I got to point the mic that way. Oh, God.
What? What are you going to play?
I had my cheat sheet, now it's gone. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I don't even need the cheat sheet. There we go. The rain has washed my dog away again. The closest to a breathing thing I'd call a friend. Hope the next wave brings a valentine. It's been so cold and lonely here. Ever since that cloud appeared, I'm just a wishing the lamp would shine. You feed me any piece of you, I'll find a way to prop it up alone. 'Cause I care about the way you stand. I think you'd look nicer if you had a few bones. Waiting for the tree to cry. I blow a kiss as the mountains wave by, and the turtles are running free. The blind man's got a stick. No, the blind man's got a whip. It's more fun than that white stick. He bought a carrot, but he still can't see. You know I've waited for 46 years for a ray of hope pierce me through. Then I could bleed sunshine and wriggle chest high in Mountain Dew. There's only so much to endure, only so much space here on my skewer. I accept your second billing to that magic goat. All I wanna know, baby, is does it float? 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 float? Does it float?
I have 2 questions.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm glad that you invited me on your podcast.
Welcome, guest to Raw Impressions. I have 2 questions for you.
Doll impressions, yes.
Oh. Okay, number 1. Is the name of that song Does It Float?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. And then number 2, is that your song? Who wrote that?
J. Mascis.
Wow. What is that from?
From the very first album.
What's that album again?
Dinosaur.
Oh, right.
Renamed Dinosaur Jr.
Okay. The one with like the sun thing in the cover?
Exactly. Yep.
Weird, because now I was there for like all of those nights, I think, in New York, and I can't remember that song. Oops.
Well, it's a bit of a different version. It's an intimate version.
Yeah. Did you sing it at the show?
Oh, I sure did.
I don't remember
sure did.
that. Oh my God.
I sang a bunch of songs on the very first Dinosaur Jr. record. Jay kind of like assigned me the songs. He wrote everything on these songs. It was amazing. He composed the whole first record and enlisted Murph and I to play it. And I had several songs that I was singing lead vocals on. And it was my first time singing in a studio. And the songs were really pitched really high for me. So I have a hard time listening to the first Dinosaur record because my voice is so high and I was so confused during those sessions. And Jay was so amazing in those sessions because he was on fire.
That is one of the most fascinating, intriguing lyrics
Aren't the lyrics fucking great?
Yeah, they're really funny. I feel like I want to have them printed on a wall so I could just like walk by them and giggle once in a while. Like
the lyrics are so good. I don't know what he was a freshman in college at the time, so I don't know. He had like writing classes, so I don't know if he was inspired by his writing classes. That's my only theory because he never. His lyrics were never quite that whimsical.
That's very whimsical.
After that first record, the lyrics are, so good and so funny. Blind man's got a whip. It's more fun than that white stick. He bought a carrot and he still can't see. See, there's things about that, like the lyrics of the song, like really reflect his sense of humor. Like, they're very funny on a lot of the songs. And to this day, I still imagine that whimsical person when I see Jay. I know that he's capable of these, because it was so mind-blowing. I had just graduated from high school. I think I was learning the songs even when I was in the latter part of my senior year in high school.
Wow.
And I was trying to get into shape. I wanted to be desirable, so I was running. And when I ran, I would sing the songs to myself to remember the lyrics because there were so many lyrics.
Yeah, that's a lot of words in that one.
There was a ton of words, and I had to sing and play bass, and it was a real tall order for me. But
you were training.
I was training. I was really up for the challenge, and looking back on it, I think I was probably a very fine specimen. I think I was like kind of ripped. And, but my self-esteem was not so great, but I was in a cool rock band with a cool guy with cool hair, and he dressed cool and he wrote really fucking funny lyrics.
Can I ask one more thing about that song?
Yes.
What is the thing that floats?
Commencing.
I'll get back to that.
Oh, okay. Another song?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm crying on your shoulder. I'm headed for Boulder. I'd rather take the train. Ain't got no money to pay. Soup in a boarding house, soup in a can. The wayward winds, they blow me here and there with the sand. Soup in a boarding house, soup in a can. The wayward winds, they blow me here and there with the sand. I'm crying on your shoulder, crying on your shoulder, crying on your shoulder.
Do tell. What's that?
That's a song called Boulder, and it's from the second iteration, the second version of The Freed Man by Sebadoh.
Ooh, okay.
Can I? Here. Let me confuse you a little bit.
Yes, please.
After we put out the original Freed Man cassette, we then were offered a record contract with Homestead Records.
Okay.
So I thought the first record we should put out would be an expanded version of the Freed Man tape that I did last week for Mini Music Monday, the Freed Man tape.
Yes.
So we added songs to it. It became this really more of like a 45-minute vinyl LP.
Ah.
And that song was on it.
Did you write that?
I did. I wrote that actually when I was probably like still in high school, just around the time that we started Dinosaur Jr. So that was something that I wrote. But I didn't think that playing it now, I'm like, that's a pretty good song. Like the melody's good.
Yeah.
You know.
What's that called? The way you're playing the guitar, like the sound of that chord or that. What is that called?
The chord?
Yeah, that like.
This is an F sharp.
No, I mean the literal chord. Actually, I mean like the
It's an F sharp figure, but it's actually I'm tuned down to C.
I don't know what that's called, but like that chord progression or that.
Yeah.
Is that correct to say like that right there?
Yeah.
Is that called a chord progression?
It is.
So did you make that up?
I did.
I think it's really good. You know what it kind of reminds me of?
What's that?
And I know it's odd that I'm saying this because I know actually so little of their music, but
Bryan Adams?
No.
Supertramp?
No.
REO Speedwagon?
No.
Kansas?
No.
Who?
I was thinking like Black Sabbath or something. Oh. Yeah, there seemed like to be that felt like moody.
Oh right.
Really
okay.
moody.
I hadn't thought about that song in a really long time, but then when I was playing Does It Float, I just started playing that, and I'm like, oh, I like that. I used to play it a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
But it's kind of a goofy song. It doesn't make sense.
It is goofy. It's goofy for you, but, look at young Lou.
Hey.
Writing. But the chord progression I find actually very sophisticated and kind of cool and unique. It's like, ooh.
Jays were
Look at
amazing.
You. So what floats?
Well,
what is floating?
There at the time that we put out that record, we were watching David Letterman. Like David Letterman was a big deal.
Yeah.
In the mid 80s, like watched him all the time. We're kind of obsessed with David Letterman. He was like, he spoke to
He was
us.
our late night guy.
He was our guy. Mm-hmm. And he had a segment on his show called Will It Float?
Okay.
Which was like awesome. Like they would literally just take things like, oh, here we got this thing. And then they had a huge tank of water. And they toss something in and say, will it float? And people guess.
Uh-huh.
And then he also did fun things like throw things off the top of off of really tall buildings.
Oh, God.
Like, we're going to throw a bowling ball off the top of the building.
No.
I mean, it was safe.
Make sure it was safe.
Of
Okay,
course.
okay.
I mean, this is
like,
the
that's scary.
NBC, the National Broadcasting Company. So, yeah, they made sure this was all safe. It was that David Letterman was having had this goofy show in the middle of the night, or after the news, 11:30 or whatever. Oh. But he had a segment called Will It Float? So I think Jay was influenced by that. But we were David Letterman, that's some funny stuff back then.
Yeah.
Mini Music Monday.
Jay was funny. David Letterman was funny.
I look funny. If you watch it on YouTube, you can see my Justin Bieber, a la 14-year-old Justin Bieber hairdo I've got going on. But the haircut appointment is procured?
Do you procure an appointment?
Procured?
I always
thought me trying to use that word. You used it, so now I'm trying to use it.
If you procure something, then you can hold it.
I
feel like you can hold it.
Could I hold that appointment? I'm holding it. It's mine. New bangs coming next week.
Raw impressions.